Alright, this is the continuation of the previous video. So after refreshing, we'll see that nothing still happens, right? That is because we haven't completely set up what we need to set up. So here we're going to add the script tag, and then the script tag. And so we can now Angular dot module where bootstrapping my app, this my app here. We're telling Angular that this is the starting point, this is the main entry of our app, so this goes in here, and then with the list of dependencies, an array, this app doesn't need any, so we go ahead. Right, so this we've done, right? Then we try refreshing. Oh, you see the the double quote braces disappears because Angular has actually bootstrapped itself or hooked itself into the app, so this disappears. Now why this disappears, it's because there is no, okay, hold on, we can, now this is the console for the developers tool for the Google Chrome, and we're going to be making use of this a lot. Okay, so we show you this is how to get to it. You right click anywhere on the Google Chrome, you click on inspect, and if we have a problem or a bug in our code, it will tell us here in the console, but since there's nothing, there's nothing. So the double curly braces with name here disappears because Angular cannot find a variable with a variable named name. So what do? We have to create the controller. We're still going to talk about controllers and modules. This is just, to introduce you into the get our hands dirty. So we can create a controller, but before you create a controller, always make sure that you have already initiated a controller in your HTML. So we can say my control, right? We'll say my control. So here we are creating the controller for this. So we have my control, right? Then what is this controller gonna do? This is the function of this controller. So what do? We can say, but we're gonna be injecting the scope. This we're also still going to talk about. So we say create scope name equal Jeffrey, right? Then we refresh. Now when we come here, we're going to say, okay, so I'm going to show you this. Now you see that, when we have a bug in our code, we can use the developers option to view, and inspect what the bug possibly could. Now we'll see on caught syntax error index, it tells us what the error is. It tells us where the error was first found. So if you click on this, you see it takes you here, and then you can trace it. Where it first encountered an error is always highlighted in yellow. So here we go, and it's 16. We go back here and we see that we intentionally left this here, so we can just do this. So take this off, save it, and then refresh. See, no more errors. Close this, and we have hello Jeffrey. So this is our first program written in AngularJS. So I'm just gonna go this all over again because I want to make sure we all get it. First, you get a structure of your HTML, the doc type, your HTML, your head, your body, your HTML. That's it, right? Okay, so we know whenever we want to use the JavaScript, we always have to do this, have a script tags open and add here. But before we did that, we had a div in the body section, right? We had this div here, and we added this directive ng app equal to my app. This is the name of the directive here, this right here. After which we also put an ng controller here, right, and named it my control, right? Okay, afterwards inside the div we put a hello and then a double curly braces, and inside the double curly braces we have name. Now those double curly braces is an example of a single binding. Our whenever we make a binding or create a binding like this, it's usually bound to a data or a variable in the controller. So that's what we did here. This is referring to the scope. We're still going to talk about scopes and module and stuff. So we created double curly braces using this, and afterwards we come into the script, create a module. The function of this module actually is to keep all of this out of the global namespace. It's really important. If you've been coding in JavaScript for a while now, you should know it's important not to litter the global space. So that is what this Angular module. We'll talk about modules soon in our next video. So scope.name equal Jeffrey, and then afterwards you can add this, and then refresh, you get it. I'm sure you get it. Now I'm gonna quickly expand on this, right? So we have a single curly braces here. There is another way to get this. We can say we can say here we can say hello. Okay, just put a horizontal, right, and we can say hello, then span ngbind, we're binding a call name. Do you see that? Now this ngbind is functionally equivalent to this curly braces. To this curly braces. Now, usually I would say it's a matter of choice, but they're also different in a way. Now, when we have lots and lots of apps or curly braces, when we have a very large application we're working in, and we try to load this. Now, when we use this curly braces, some of the time before the page finished loading for the first time, we're going to see flashes of those curly braces before the AngularJS kicks in and replaces them with the variables in the controller. But with ngbind, that isn't the case. The ngbind actually puts okay, let me not say put it on hold, but the ngbind avoids that and allows the ng app to bootstrap itself, attack and hook variable names to the bind. Actually does the binding before the whole page loads up, so we do not see those flashes. So that's just a little difference between this. Usually when you're building small app, you can go with this, right? You can go with this. So thank you for watching this video on the Hello World AngularJS program. On our next video, I'm going to be talking about modules and controllers and scope, and I'll tell you why we shouldn't always use this form of syntax while writing AngularJS. Don't worry, we'll talk about all of this in our next video. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and if you've got comments, just go ahead and drop your comments. I'm here to tutor as best as I can, and where I make mistakes, please let me know and I'll correct those. Thank you for watching. You have a nice day now. Bye.